I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with the cattle market summary for the week ending January the 22nd, where I really feel that this was a pivotal week for kind of a turnaround, or maybe just to give the market a little bit of structure here. We continued to have some strong fundamentals this week, and then the board was surprisingly strong, was shrugging off some of this pressure that it's getting from the stock market and lower oil prices and everything. But live cattle ended up on Friday up $1.82 to close the week at 132.07, which was up $4.52 for the week. Feeder cattle on Friday on January contract was up 75 cents. Now it was only up 75 cents because we're getting so close to maturity on this January contract here, and it's already running at a pretty good premium to what the CME feeder cattle index is, so it couldn't go up that much. Now your next out front months for the next several traded months were up well over $3. So really that's as much as it could do. So it was up 75 cents on Friday, closing the week at 159.42, and that was up $5.12 for the week. That we started out Monday being closed for the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. Tuesday was surprisingly strong after Friday's limit down close. Tuesday was up pretty good. Now Wednesday took all that pressure from the stock market and oil and was down, locked down the limit right off the bat, but then showed a lot of strength by coming off those limit losses for the day. Then Thursday was a good strong market, and then Friday is a good strong market. So just pretty strong signals right there, and I feel like maybe we've seen at least a bottom for this little bump that we've seen so far. So the problem is we had kind of a bearish cattle on feed report there come out on Friday with your on feed numbers coming in at 100%, or really 99.5, and the average guess was 99. Your placements, the actuals come in at 99% of a year ago, and your guesses was 95, and then marketings were 101 when the average guess was 102. So that is kind of a bearish market. A lot of times those cattle on feed reports come and go and nobody thinks too much about them. But one thing I saw that was significant, look in there, your heifers, on feed heifers numbers were 7% down, and that's the lowest percentage of the total for this report since the series began in 1996. So we're sure keeping back a lot of heifers, and I think the market's known that, and that's built in. But anytime you get some proof of that, it just goes to show that people have kept a lot of heifers back. There's a lot of bred heifers turned out, and we really needed that to turn this supply back around, because before we got into this rebuilding that we've seen here in the last several months, we'd really whittled these herds down to nothing. But you look at your CME feeder cattle index at 157.51. Now it's still a little bit higher than your Cattle Market Central real-time index, which is 156.05. But that real-time index through Friday's sales there was up nearly $2. So we know that it's coming back the other way. So your feeder cattle index should get some strength on Monday's sales, which should be a lot better. And then that'll give the feeder cattle futures a little room to grow there. No fat cattle trade this week. We had that huge trade last week, which put the packers in pretty good shape. They would have liked to have bought some cattle, but they wanted to buy them a ton lower. And if you remember last week, we were at a big premium on the cash market compared to what the futures board is. So your packers were not going to come out and continue to give that huge premium on the cash basis, so they just didn't get anything bought. And I'm really proud of the few guys that still sell their fat cattle on a negotiated basis, that they shrugged off those lower bids. We hardly had any cattle trade for the week. 3,000 head out of the whole 5-area feeding region for the week, and you can run into any country sale barn on a good run this time of year especially, and they'll have more cattle, more feeder cattle in one sale barn than 3,000 head for the week. So we'll look for the packers to come out next week and want to buy some cattle middle of the week, and hopefully they'll have to pay up for them. Box beef cutout values have started to slide back down. We saw a bigger rally than what we really thought we'd see through much of the holidays and well into January. But as we get to the end of January and end of February, it's kind of a doldrum time, and it's going to start backing off a little bit, but it hasn't just dropped completely out of bed, which is a pretty strong signal, I think. Your choice box beef cutouts were 228.73 to end the week, and that was 594 lower for the week. And selects at 223.31, down 515. Your weekly slaughter under federal inspection was 569,000 this past week, compared to, which was 1,000 more than the previous week at 568,000, but well off of a year ago, which was 581,000. Cash feeder cattle this week opened the week sharply lower after last Friday's limit down board, and then really didn't get any feed under it because Monday the market was closed. Your futures market was closed, so folks didn't really know what to do, and all of our big volume sales on a Monday were down hard. So feeders opened the week 5 to 10 lower, and calves were $5 to $15 lower. But as we worked through, and especially on Wednesday and then Thursday sales and Friday sales were really strong. But as the market as a whole, your cash feeder cattle market gained a lot of that back, and we'll see that on these Monday sales. Oklahoma City, Joplin, places like that, they should be a lot higher and gaining back almost all of what they lost last week. But as a whole, your market really ended the week unevenly steady to as much as $8 lower, but turned around quite a bit, and that's why I say I think we're in a pivotal week here. Look at some individual sales here. One sale late in the week on a Friday around 2 o'clock was Wahoo, Nebraska, Wahoo Commission Company. Kind of a new sale here on DV Auction and on Cattle Market Central. Had a load of 844 pound steers, bring 155.75. Earlier in the week on a Monday there, anything weighing over 8, it was really tough to get over $1.50 for, so that was strong. Check out DV Auction. We've got a ton of bull sales coming up here. February and March, they'll just be half a dozen to a dozen bull sales almost every day, even through the week, especially on your Saturdays. So check out your bull sales. We cover a lot of the Angus sales, but we got every breed on there, and we got a lot of other things you might want to check out too. Some of the stock shows are coming up there, the Sioux Empire show, and then some of the shows at Fort Worth Stockyards will be on there too. So that's all for this week from my home office here in Maysville, Missouri. We'll talk to you on Wednesday.